Welcome, everybody, to the Easttown Business Partnership annual meeting. Today, first of all, my name is Dan Collison, Executive Director of the Easttown Business Partnership, and I am so pleased to be at US Bank Stadium. We've been here for the last few hours getting ready for a highly experimental Zoom meeting, but fully supported by the remarkable staff of the Minnesota Sports Facility Authority and Jim Farstead, who's the executive director, and will be offering a few comments in just a little bit. So first of all, just thank you everyone for attending this meeting. I am so thrilled to be in this space, to be social distance from the other presenters, and yet really representing an amazing moment and also some difficult moments, as well as our city continues to wrestle with all that we have in front of us in meaningful ways and rise to the challenges ahead of us. I am pleased to introduce next, just to do a couple of opening comments, Melvin Tennant. He is the CEO of Meet Minneapolis, a champion for our region, but especially our city, and also a lover of downtown. And Melvin, thank you. I just reached out to him a few days ago. He had some very poignant thoughts to offer about all that we've been facing with another moment that's been so difficult with a young Black man, Daunte Wright, being killed by a police officer, and all of the reverberations that have happened that are affecting us, even while we are facing and bracing and trying to engage and seek justice and all that's happened around the death and murder of George Floyd and the trial that's going on. And so, Melvin, thank you for being here. Thank you for being such a champion for downtown. Please just share a few framing comments as the head of our tourism and hospitality group. And thank you for your leadership.
And thank you for inviting me, and congratulations to all the great work that the Easttown Business Partnership is doing, one of our great partner organizations that we rely on significantly. So thank you very much. You know, Dan, you were referencing the column that we did this week on dealing with yet another, what some might have called another gut punch for us as a community. But I just reflected on the very sad and tragic death of Daunte Wright, and just couldn't help but be reminded of some of the emotions that many of us were dealing with after the death of George Floyd, dealing with it, first of all, just as another human being, then secondly, as a Black man who has sons and grandsons and very much concerned for them, but then also as my job, which is to market and sell this region. So it's a plethora of various emotions that we're all dealing with, but I simply wanted to say that even though we have had a history as a community and as a country of Black people, men and women, being killed while in police custody, you know, some of the names we know, the Jamar Clarks, the Eric Garners, of course, George Floyd, the names really go on. But it's a situation where, while we have a certain level of emotion as Black citizens, but this should be something that we all feel. It's not just a Black issue. It's a human issue. And I was on a session yesterday with former Mayor Sharon Sales Belton, and the comment that she said that really resonated with me is that we can do better. We can do better. So I will just simply leave you with that. I just thank those who have reached out and expressed concern and support, but we can do better as a community, and I just pray that we will be able to do that.
Thank you so much, Melvin, for those comments, for your leadership, for all that you have done and will continue to do to lead us and the downtown marketplace into the future and hold us in this moment. So I'm grateful. We're all grateful.
Thank you.
Karina.
Yes, so I'm Karina Alexson. I am the current board president of the Easttown Business Partnership, and I would like to officially call our annual meeting to order. I don't usually call our business forums to order, but this is our annual business meeting. And Melvin, I just want to echo Dan's gratitude for you just helping us to acknowledge the complexity of the ways that we hold what's going on in our community. And I would echo your challenge to all of us to do better. So thank you for joining us today and just for sharing your perspective. We're so grateful.
I am going to now share my screen and provide a few announcements for today's meeting. First of all, we are a very scrappy, entrepreneurial business association, the east side of downtown, that is like all in on neighborhoods and vitality and bringing together the incredible eclectic diversity oriented natures of our neighborhoods, and so many people that live and work and visit this side of town. It's astonishing. Millions visit, thousands live, and hundreds of thousands come here to work. And so we are just an organization that shows up and seeks to bridge and bring people together. And so we're grateful for all of our memberships that fuel our work, and especially the platinum sponsors that are able to give us a little bit extra gas in the tank, that include Clearway Energy, Catholic Charities, Clear Channel, Centerpoint Energy, Hennepin Healthcare, ESG Architects, Sherman Associates, Padilla, the Minnesota Vikings, Kraus Anderson, Trellis Company, House of Charity, which is now merged with St. Stephen's, American Academy of Neurology, Sherwin-Williams, Thrivent Financial, US Bank, and Wells Fargo. And especially today, being in the stadium, we are super grateful for the Minnesota Vikings. And I am so happy to have to my right, several feet away from me, Charlie Buckenhauer, who's a board member of the East Town Business Partnership. They're sponsoring this event. And being at the stadium is a very exciting time for them to talk, and for Charlie to talk a little bit about what's going to happen this August when pre-games are supposed to take place here. And we need to acknowledge that when the stadium's active, it employs thousands of employees. It activates the neighborhood and supports our hospitality. And we have missed the presence of Vikings games and the stadium activity. So Charlie, catch us up a little bit as to what's going on and what we can look for as we come through the summer and head into the fall.
Yeah, so thank you, Dan. And I first want to say we are extremely proud to sponsor this particular event. And I thank you for the opportunity to share a few thoughts in this unique setting. And as I mentioned to our small breakout group, just extremely proud of the symbolic moment that it is being in the stadium for the first time in over a year and having an interaction like this. And I cannot wait to get to this fall and hopefully, as is our intent right now, to fill this building up and bring the game day experience back. A few oversights. First and foremost, our organization is driven by three primary goals. First is to compete for championships. Second, build and provide a best-in-class fan experience. And lastly, to use our platform for positive impact. Everything we do stems from those three goals, and we're making significant strides towards all three. With obviously the ultimate goal for the entire organization is winning that Super Bowl and bringing the Lombardi Trophy to Minnesota. On the business side, we continually look at how to create the best fan experience in sports and ways to innovate at every touch point with our stakeholders. This year, without a doubt, our number one priority is to safely welcome back our fans and to create a memorable, personalized, safe, and healthy experience as we celebrate game day here in Minneapolis on the east side and return our fans to US Bank Stadium. And of course, hopefully at the end of the year, it culminates with achieving that ultimate goal of winning the Super Bowl. I'd also like to say thanks again to Dan and each of you on this call for the support of our organization. It is extremely appreciated. And with that, I'll now kick it over to Dan for the football giveaway. And congratulations to whoever the lucky winner is on this call.
So friends, it wasn't highly promoted, but because you registered and signed up, we have a football signed by Kirk Cousins, the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. I have a letter of authenticity. So this wasn't Dan Collison signing Kirk Cousins on here. It's the real deal. And everyone who registered for this is eligible to receive this football. And so I've got everyone's names in this Vikings hat. And I'm going to right now just grab a random name. You know what? Karina Allison, the chair of the Easttown Business Partnership. We'll just name that as a parting gift.
My
Karina
father-in-law will be so grateful.
Yeah. There you go. Awesome. Well, I'll get that to you, Karina. So to my left is Jim Farstad, who has been an amazing colleague and a friend of our neighborhood association and the executive director of the Minnesota Sports Facility Authority, who's the government appointed oversight organization that runs this. And so, Jim, thank you for giving us the time and giving us the host space and your team that's here to set up today's event and also give us an update. Again, your stadium, this stadium, the People's Stadium is a space that brings so much economy and engagement and jobs to this part of Easttown. So catch us up, provide us an update. I'm so glad to have you with us and look forward to a brief update.
Thanks so much for having your meeting here today. We're thrilled to welcome you. It's a great honor to have everyone participate. And obviously over the past year, things have been much quieter than normal at the stadium. But some of the highlights, we did have a very successful, safe hosting of the Minnesota Vikings football season. It was strange to be among the only attendees at those games during this past season. But we also, after the football season, were able to host safely 116 baseball games. And again, that was really fun to have all the baseball during that season. What people don't realize is we were home this year to not only the NCAA finals for baseball, but also the Big Ten finals for baseball. And normally you would have known that because there would have been tons of people here, but it was kind of a quiet event. And yet very often you'd walk through the stadium and you'd hear all this hoopla and you'd figure there must be 10,000 people in here. And it was just two really excited teams cheering at every play. So again, baseball was a lot of fun. And then last weekend, we were able to host the state of Minnesota Department of Health, and we had a great time with the administering of the vaccines here in the stadium. We were able to move almost 10,000 people through the stadium. And I will tell you that the National Guard was in here early every morning and cranked the tunes before anyone even had a chance to come in. So throughout this period, we've also been working with our event promoters and clients. There's a significant excitement about people moving back into the stadium. We're beginning to schedule those concerts and other corporate events, et cetera. Throughout all of this, the health and safety of our attendees is paramount to us. We have implemented a comprehensive health and safety program called Venue Shield, which has been developed by ASM Global, which is our stadium operator, in partnership with medical experts, industry professionals, and public health officials. So we will be certifying event venues at the highest standard for cleanliness and safety. And again, we're looking forward to welcoming back our employees, our guests, as we move forward with the 2020 Minnesota Vikings 2021 season. And we're excited to welcome you all back for the concert or game or whatever your next event will be. So again, Dan, thanks for being here, and we look forward to having folks back in the stadium as soon as you can. Thank you.
Jim, thank you so much for everything that you do to run the stadium well, efficiently, and for the sake of the public, and for being so engaged in all that we're doing. Hey, he threw some tickets on the table for tours, not to games, but for tours of the stadium. And so we've got 4 tickets when the stadium is able to do tours again, which will be soon. And I'm going to go back to the hat here again and pick a name of someone who, Iavra Mites, Alana Avra Mites. Now, here's the deal. They have to be in the actual meeting. And so is that person in the meeting? I'm just double checking. I'm triple checking, running down the list here. This is when you like realize that you're just doing everything. This person is not in the meeting. Sorry, friends. Okay, so we're going to go back to the hat. You got to be here. I get it. We're zoomed out. We're tired. We've had it. We've hit it on click and we'll watch it on YouTube. All right. Matthew Whelan is the one who's got tickets to do free tours of the stadium. And Matthew is, I did see him logged in. Is he still logged in? Yes. Okay, Matthew, I will connect with you and make sure that you get tour tickets as you would like. And you can give those, of course, to anyone else if you want, friends or family, to be able to tour the stadium. All right. I have just a couple of things that I want to share for announcements on the Easttown side of things. I'll be very, very quick with this. Hang on just a second as we fire this up. From the partnership we have with the Minneapolis Downtown Council, our May business forum is going to be shared. It's going to be in person. We're going to do a tour of the Dayton projects in the Central Business District. And my work with the Downtown Council team and event team would love to be able to host you for this event to show you what's going to take place. And I'm also so pleased to let you know ahead of this, the Chameleon Shops that I've been working on, kind of wearing all my hats, is opening 2 stores. One is at Nicollet and 9th. In the Young Quinlan building called Coconut Whisk. It's going to be a waffle bar. It's a whole food, plant-based food organization that's going to be opening on May 1st, as well as Sisters Co-op and the IDS Center Skyway. They're having grand openings on May 1st. They're women's products with the international appeal that are really, really remarkable. So look for more information on that. I want you to know, and Steve Kramer is going to provide a partnership update a little bit later, the Downtown Improvement District released a 2021 safety plan. I'm not going to go over it now, but it is $3.5 million infused into the downtown and public experience. And you can grab this presentation if you want to see how it breaks out. We're also scoping out the Aquatennial and all that will take place this summer. Of course, that's all going to be COVID safe and adjusted as needed as we sort of dynamically move our way through that. And hang on just a second. Whoops. Northern Spark is going to be providing an outdoor-based arts event June 12th through 27. The last final winter market is going to be taking place in the Mill City, 10 a.m. to noon on Saturday 24th, an amazing market that has continued through COVID and continued to bring farm to city in remarkable ways. And then finally, stay engaged with the neighborhoods. We have neighborhood board meetings, land use committees, both in the Downtown Minneapolis Neighborhood Association and the Elliott Park neighborhood. Councilmember Fletcher holds coffees and he would love to connect with you as you have time. Those are inserted in this presentation as well. And we invite you to engage with elected officials, particularly in this year that we have right now. Next, I am so pleased to pass it back to Karina to provide an actual engagement with the board and some content that we have regarding where we're going with the board, outgoing board members and incoming board members. So Karina, take it away.
Great. And I think you have some slides to share with us for that as well, correct?
Yes.
And normally we would have people stand and we would honor them that way, but we're going to do it through some photographs this year instead. First of all, I would just like to remember Kelly Stenzel. Kelly passed away earlier this year, and we just we are very grateful for the many years of service that Kelly devoted to the Easttown Business Partnership in his role as the manager of corporate real estate for Thrivent. So they've been a long time business in the area of East Downtown, and we're just grateful for the investment that he made over the years. John Campobasso and I are also terming off this year. John is another one who has just served the Easttown Business Partnership in several past iterations in various roles throughout the years. When we instituted term limits about 6 years ago, he drew one of the longer straws, right? So I think he got 2 actual full terms out of that deal. So we're grateful for all the ways that John has served the Easttown Business Partnership over these years. Next,
I would like to jump
Yes,
in and first say
please.
thank you for the service you have given the Easttown Business Partnership for these last 6 years and being chair this year in an incredibly challenging year. You have been phenomenal. And I also want to jump in because I invited John Capobasso. He's 2 seats over, or I guess not 1 seat over, to be here present, not telling him exactly what we were going to do. But I have 2 really important things that I want to celebrate about John Capobasso here in person. First of all, I want you to know, friends, John has been on this board 28 years. Okay, who has served on a board of anything for 28 years? I'm not seeing many hands. So amazing. And he has been president twice and has provided for us an amazing sense of engagement and leadership. He's been personally encouraging to me and to the board, and through Kraus Anderson and their company's reinvestment on scale has been astonishing. So we have a couple points of recognition. First, I'm going to play a video, surprise, a video from the president and CEO of Kraus Anderson.
Hello, I'm Al Gerhardt, President and Chief Operating Officer of Kraus Anderson Construction Company. And I want to offer my congratulations to John on reaching 29 years with Kraus Anderson and 28 years with the Easttown Business Partnership. Easttown has been Kraus Anderson's neighborhood since the 1940s. And John, you've been the face of KA to our neighbors through these past 3 decades of dynamic growth and change. But you're really much more than that. You're a connector. Your networking skills, your integrity, and the congenial energy you bring to relationships have benefited KA as well as the Easttown community with extraordinary collaborations, including our Kraus Anderson block. Well, we certainly know you have the gift of gab. You're also a superb listener. You've done an amazing job keeping your finger on the pulse of Easttown and downtown, fostering better understanding and alignment of our shared goals. And you're a superb navigator. Your insights have been invaluable in helping guide KA to be a supportive Easttown community member, cheering on Easttown's growth and emergence as a vibrant piece of the greater Minneapolis fabric. As a friend and a colleague, thank you for your service and for making our community and our company a better place to live and work.
Woo! Touchdown! Minneapolis Miracle 2.0, John Capobasso. And I have 2 things that I want to give to John on behalf of the board. John, you get to keep the box with all the peanuts. First of all, here is a card that is signed by Christy and myself on behalf of the Easttown Business Partnership. And then here is a professionally framed image that we reached out to the board and to Kraus Anderson and to other leaders in downtown and asked, when you think of John Capobasso, what comes to mind? What words come to mind? And so this is a word cloud put within the brand mark of the Easttown Business Partnership. So what I see here is servant leader, diplomat, friendly, professional, generous, wise, champion, community, and on it goes. And so as a small memento, just a small token, John, we are so pleased to give this to you and to thank you for your years of service and all that you have given to the community. You're amazing.
Well, thank you very much, Dan. And I've enjoyed all of the years that I've been involved with Easttown and connecting with all the great personalities and businesses in our community. It's just been terrific, and I've really enjoyed the experience.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Give your high fives, your waves, your applauses through Zoom land. And the crowd goes wild. All right, back to you, Karina.
Yeah, I think Dan actually has a nice picture on the the slideshow there of the image that we put together. It's always fun to collect the words and see the legacy that people leave. So thank you again, John, for all your work. As Dan's pulling that up, I'm just going to give us some coaching. You can leave that slide up just for a moment. We are going to move into board elections. And in a few moments when I'm asking for motions, if you can just make sure you say your name if you're making a motion or second, that would be really helpful for Carletta Sweet, who puts together our minutes. So since this is an official meeting, we need to be mindful of that. So I'm going to just introduce the new board members. Yep, there's that word cloud. So Cassie Garner, who is the director of Gamut Gallery. That's one of the small businesses tucked right into Elliott Park. Tina Lakari is the Senior Public Engagement and Marketing Manager at Catholic Charities. And she and I were at the neighborhood cleanup in Elliott Park on Saturday, which was a blast. And Cassie, we met your business partner, and she was taking photographs of people who were doing neighborhood cleanup. Lynn Byrne is a realtor with Cynthia Freud Realty over near the Guthrie. Kirsten Wallstein is the manager in finance, business development, manager of finance and business development. Sorry, I'm just reading these slides as we go here at Cross Anderson. So Eric Merriman, director of real estate at Thrivent Financial, and Amy Robertson, who's the executive director of advancement at North Central University. So all these folks are being nominated as a slate of candidates for the Easttown Business Partnership Board. Wonderful, that motion carries. So congratulations to all of our new board members. We're so grateful that you all have stepped up to serve Easttown for this next term of office. And with that, I will hand it over to Steve Kramer from the Minneapolis Downtown Council and Downtown Improvement District.
Great, thanks, Karina. Great to be with all of you. I was just thinking we were here last year, and I think at that point we knew we were in for something, but oh man, it's been quite a year. So I think it's congratulations to all of us for being back here at this point. We've got challenges in front of us, no doubt. We've talked about some of those already this afternoon, but I also feel like we're on the cusp of really positive recovery, and that's something to hold on to and to work to advance. And I am really appreciative of the continuing work we do together, and especially Dan's role in that work. I thought I'd just mention really quickly some of the work streams that we're involved in with you that I think will advance this goal of reanimation of our downtown economy over the coming months into 2022. Dan mentioned the safety program. So that is out and implemented several months earlier than typical, just again on the theme of trying to build confidence about return to downtown, whether it's a Twins fan or an office worker or somebody coming to the orchestra hall for their first concerts in June, whatever the activity is. We want people to feel confident about coming downtown from a public and personal safety standpoint. Working hard in that regard on back to office activity. Our downtown will hum again, not only when we have people coming for events, but also when we have folks coming back to work in the offices. And that's something that we've really been focused on for the last year. Again, I think that's something that's going to happen over the coming months. It's not going to be a light switch. It's going to be a gradual process. And we may see more of that actually in the post-Labor Day period, but I think we will start to see some in this summer time frame as well. So that's something to look forward to as that customer base is reestablished. That will help, revive parts of the rest of the downtown economy. Another contributor, I think, to that sense of animation and building confidence in our downtown will be the activities and programs that we were missing last year that our office and others produced. So we expect all of that to be back. Again, have to caution a little bit based on public health guidance, but our our view and our feeling at this point is that in-person programming, perhaps with some COVID-related restrictions or components, will be possible, and it's our plan to do that in spades, including with the farmers market back on Thursdays on Nicollet and many other programs, big civic events like Aquatennial, et cetera. So that layer of activation and programming will be important as well. And then finally, a through line through all of that will be a very comprehensive communication and marketing plan that our office is putting together, again, in partnership with many people throughout Minneapolis. It's not our plan, it's downtown's plan. And you can look for some of the creative assets associated with that to be made available in coming weeks. Again, we're trying to build confidence in the future of downtown. The best news I've gotten this week is when Dave St. Peter told me that all of the feedback from the Twins fans coming to the first games at Target Field has been really positive about the experience that they had. So I think that's a good indicator that we can continue to build on. And my last point is I just wanted to thank Dan for asking Melvin Tennant to start this meeting. And we had our staff meeting yesterday, and we spent some time reflecting on the meaning of the tragic death of Daunte Wright. I know for me, it just put me in a really bad place, but I have to pull out of that because the work we're doing here to kind of bring our downtown back, to make the economy sing again, to give people the opportunities that downtown can present is important work, and it will be something that will create opportunities again for the future. So we have to recognize the impact of that tragic event, honor it, work to change our community, make ourselves better, as Mayor Sells Belton said, but we also have to do the work that we're all signed up to do. And I look forward to continuing to partner with Easttown Business Partnership in that really important effort. So thanks for having me today.
Thank you, Steve, for all that you bring to downtown and into the community, for your leadership and for your collegiality. It's a privilege to be on the staff, as well as being the executive director of Easttown Business Partnership. Well, Christy Hanke, our executive coordinator, who is remarkable and has been doing this for years and years and years, is going to do a year in review. So I'll pass it to her.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Christy Hanke. I'm the executive coordinator for the Easttown Business Partnership. And as Dan mentioned, I work behind the scenes to keep the organization functioning like a well-oiled machine. Dan and I are a great team, and this year has been particularly challenging, but I think we've done a really good job of keeping everything moving in the right direction. I'm going to give you a very quick rundown on this past season's business forums, and I'm going to apologize. I have a spring cold. And so if at some point I dissolve into a coughing fit, I will mute myself and I will let Dan just move on with the rest of the meeting agenda. I think we can all agree with the image on the first slide, though, that we're ready to throw that 2020 off the edge of a cliff. 2020 was the year of the virtual forum. We all became very familiar with Zooming. We hosted our first virtual business forum, as Steve Kramer reminded us, with our 2020 annual meeting last April. We continued using this format in May and June, into the fall and winter, and now we've come full circle. Our entire 2020-2021 business forum season, which included 4 partnership events with the Downtown Council, was held via Zoom. Despite some of the challenges that this format presented, there have been some benefits to meeting virtually. Number one, it gave us all a way to stay connected. And number two, and perhaps the most important benefit, is that Zoom gave us a recording of our business forums that we have been able to share on our website and our newly created YouTube channel. This gave people who were unable to attend our business forums in person the opportunity to watch them after the fact. It essentially has created an historical record of our work that will live on for years to come. Looking back at the 2020-2021 season, we had 6 primary themes: entrepreneurialism, equity and inclusion, construction in the downtown community, COVID and its impact on the marketplace, women who are leading in our marketplace, and the nonprofit sector. Last May, we heard from Brenda Langton, who's an entrepreneur when it comes to fresh, local, and sustainable food in Minneapolis. In 2006, she founded the very well-known Mill Cities Farmers Market, a unique urban market, which offers local, sustainable, and organic produce, along with pasture-raised meat, eggs, and farmstead cheeses. We learned that despite the pandemic, the market has been expanding and thriving during its 15th year in operation. The last winter market is April 24th, and the first summer market will take place on May 1st. In June, at a joint business forum with the Minneapolis Downtown Council, we heard from BIPOC community leaders and change makers. Our panelists included Kevin Lindsay from the Minnesota Humanities Center, Rosemary Uboija from Necker Creative, Jamaica Quinlan from the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis, and Liliana Maria Percy Ruiz from On Being Studios. This forum was a veritable feast of wisdom, incisive knowledge, and lived experience. In September, we joined again with the Minneapolis Downtown Council to learn about all of the various construction projects that have been taking place in the downtown community. We learned about the Waterworks project, which we are very excited to know that will be done this spring, and hopefully we'll be hosting a business forum there next season. We learned about the Hennepin Avenue reconstruction, the 3rd Avenue Bridge project, the Metro Transit Orange Line, and the Southwest LRT Green Line extension. Our entrepreneurial theme continued in October. Our board member, Jackie Berglund, the founder and CEO of Finnegan's, facilitated a roundtable with 4 local entrepreneurs: Juanita Flowers from Juanita's Jar, Bella Lamb from Coconut Whisk, who Dan talked about earlier, Katie Meyer from Red Market, and Darcy Olson, who's the founder of Let's Dish. In November, we heard from the restaurant and hospitality leaders regarding the impact that COVID has had on the local marketplace. Audrey Lucas from McKenzie & Company, Dennis Monroe, who was the founder of the Downtown Group and co-owner of East Side and the Grand Cafe, Edward Hopkins from Eagle Bolt Bar, and our board member, Cindy Harrison, owner of Sawadi. It was very meaningful to hear from panelists, real and detailed stories. It was a chance for our membership to get behind the scenes of what it takes to operate a restaurant or a hospitality business in the Easttown Business District. In December, we hosted another joint business forum with the Minneapolis Downtown Council, and we heard from Ron Wirtz, who's the Regional Outreach Director for the Minneapolis Federal Reserve Bank. He gave our forum attendees the unique opportunity to participate in an interactive survey that was related to COVID-related challenges. In January, we heard from a powerhouse group of women leading in the workplace. Our panelists included Hetty Lamar Wells from the Twin Cities, Greater Twin Cities YMCA, Ellie Krug, who's a lawyer and owner of Human Inspiration Works, Amanda Kunbahari, Director of Public Policy at the Citizens League, and Mary Post, who's the CEO of American Academy of Neurology. In February, once again, we heard from another outstanding group of female leaders who are doing some great work in the nonprofit sector. Our panelists included our board member, Rynell Ray from People Serving People, another board member, Deborah Moses, who's with St. Stephen's Human Services, and Laurie Oman from Catholic Charities. And last month, we joined with the Minneapolis Downtown Council to dig deeper into the history and work of several outstanding nonprofits in our community. Panelists included John Pratt from the Minnesota Council of Nonprofits, Carmen Bowman from the Minnesota Association of Volunteer Administration, Teresa Pesch with the Hennepin Healthcare. We also hosted breakout sessions with other nonprofit leaders, including Dr. Heather Huseby from YouthLink, Deborah Moses from St. Stephen's, and David Dorn from who's the CEO of Special Olympics in Minnesota. Ultimately, what we learned is that these nonprofits have opportunities available for us to volunteer our time and talents to make a difference in someone's life. Thank you to all of you who took the time to participate in one of our virtual business forums over the past year. If you missed one, thanks to our Easttown Business Partnership Board member, Carletta Sweet, there are summaries of all our events available on the website, as well as links to the recordings. We are in the process of planning our 2021-2022 business forum season, and we're looking forward to being back in person together next fall. That includes my portion of today's presentation, and I made it through without coughing, so.
Nice.
Thanks, everybody.
Well done. Thank you, Christy, and for all of your leadership and everything that you bring to this group. And if you all don't know, She's a champion of many things downtown at the neighborhood level, at the business level, and is a leader at several layers that's really focusing on the advancement of all sectors. So thank you. It's a privilege to work with you. I'm going to be super quick and then hand it to our keynote speaker for today. I just want you to know for the coming year, I'll splash it on the screen for just a couple minutes, but not just for a minute, literally a minute. But we have some priorities for the coming year that are really about listening to you. We did a survey, listening to the board, and then listening to the broader community, which I spend a tremendous amount of time doing through personal contact, emails, Zoom meetings, phone calls. And here are the themes: recovering from COVID impact and focusing almost explicitly on social services and hospitality sectors. Those are such critical lifeblood for our part of the downtown. Drawing customers back to the district, supporting the neighborhood association priorities and strategies, diverse, equitable, and inclusive economic strategies, and then public realm safety policies and practices. We aspire to communicate through social media channels, advancing customized video projects, amplify the broader downtown reanimation messaging, elevate the nuances of the Easttown brand to better leverage our neighborhoods that were vibrant, multifaceted, and connected, support and accelerate small and diverse-owned businesses in the district, and then engage all of our members on the municipal election and public policy issues, which are at the fore of many parts of what we're trying to work on. So quickly, just watching time here a little bit. And Peter, I know we sort of crunched you. If you want to go a little bit past the noon, we may lose some folks, but we will record this. Please share with us some of your thoughts. And for everyone who may or may not know, Peter is a regional champion as the CEO of Greater MSP. And rather than dig into his biography, I'm just going to invite him to share his vision and what it means for us in the Easttown area. Take it over, Peter.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate being invited today. Time is short, so I'm going to do this really quickly. And here are the kind of key ideas. This is a moment when transformation in our region is needed, and we are transforming. We have changed significantly over the past year in good ways that are hard to see. But I think that Easttown as a geography, as a place, shows that transformation is possible and how incredible transformation can be. I mean, anybody who knows anything about this region, who's seen pictures of what this part of our region used to look like and what it is today, would be hard pressed to even imagine it's the same place. And it took, planning and dedication and persistence over decades. But what, you have created and so many others have created over time has made this part of the region one of the best parts of the region. And that's the attitude and optimism we need to bring to everything we're doing. Like we are going to drive change around racial equity in our society and our economy. We are doing it, and it's the work of a generation. And that transformation is going to make this place far better than it's ever been, and it will make us a national leader in this work. Another key point, the work you do in the Easttown Business Partnership is incredibly important. And this moment might make your work in this organization more important than it's ever been. I'm a fan. Greater MSP sees itself as in partnership with Easttown Business Partnership, and I want to do a lot of work together. Kraus Anderson, US Bank, Wells Fargo, Thrivent, Vikings, Padilla, these are all of your entities are investors and leaders in Greater MSP. And so this is really work we want to do together. I'm going to go quickly through this to get to kind of action point. Just for those of you who don't know Greater MSP as well, we are the Regional Economic Development Partnership for the 15 county metro. It's meant to be kind of the big team for Minneapolis-St. Paul, where leaders and organizations can come together and do the big things they can only do together. There's something like Greater MSP in every other US metro, or every major US metro. And so, we're competing as one team. Greater MSP is cross-sector. So it leans private sector, and you see a lot of, logos here on the left, but it's also about counties and cities and tribal governments, philanthropies, and you see civic partners here. These civic entities, including Easttown and Minneapolis Downtown Council, are not financial investors, but work in meaningful ways every week and month with different parts of Greater MSP to get things done. There's a regional strategy that ties everything together. This has been developed over the course of years, has kind of 9 areas of focus, including things you'd expect like job growth and startup and innovation, talent migration, but also racial equity, inclusion, housing affordability, the new climate economy. So I want you to be thinking about the work that you're doing, the vision you have for Easttown, the tangible projects that you can advance in this geography. That's how we move forward as a region. That's how we execute this strategy. So it's not some abstraction. It has to happen somewhere. And so I want to talk about the work you're doing and want to do and how that can be part of this bigger regional effort. Just so you have a sense, Greater MSP is at this point quite extensive. It's a pretty big enterprise, and the scope has grown significantly year by year. It is absolutely about job creation and capital investment, but also about talent retention, attraction, inclusive talent development, global food and agriculture, regional brand and image. And the organization of Greater MSP it's like an ecosystem. So we've got a board and staff in the middle. We've developed these big platforms, and every one of those platforms involves dozens, if not sometimes hundreds of entities. We do our work in teams. It's not about committees. There are teams that go after projects that advance the strategy, and that's how stuff gets done. One of those projects I want you to just be aware of, a big team came together last year to create a new regional recovery hub. This is real-time updated data and analysis and explanation of what's going on in our economy and how we're doing and how we're coming back. This is available at greatermsp.org. It's constantly updated, and it's got information that your organizations, companies, the Easttown Business Partnership may find valuable. There's going to be an event on the 28th of April when we are doing kind of a check-in on, how are we doing as a region in terms of recovery. Maybe I'll have Dan send that around. Okay, so let's talk about Easttown. The short story being, a lot has changed in the past 10 to 12 months in our region, in the country, and in the world. We've seen a massive acceleration of all kinds of trends that were already in place. Here are some trends that we're seeing in the work that Greater MSP is doing, and I think some of these have real relevance to Easttown. One that I want to talk about today is federal funding. Something new that is happening right now and is going to be an opportunity in 2021 and for the next several years is the opportunity to access federal funding at a level and at a breadth we have never seen in our professional lives. And this is happening at the same time as the economy overall, the banks, others are also healthy. And so you've got private capital that's available, you have public capital that's available. So the bottom line is the next few years are a really good time to get stuff done, to invest in big ideas and drive transformation. And that's something that I'd like to be working on with the Easttown Business Partnership this year. This idea of community development deal flow. Greater MSP is doing international and national deals every week, med tech, global food and agriculture, health IT, all kinds of stuff. But increasingly, we're also doing deals that feel a little bit like community development. They're a little bit like economic development. They have a real social purpose to them. And I expect that trend is going to continue. And connected to that is this idea of place-based strategies. And this is one of the reasons why I think this conversation is really well timed and important. That, we don't advance the region in an abstract way, 15 counties at a time. We make progress in specific places with specific projects, working with specific entities. And so, we're doing that with Anoka and Washington County in a tech corridor that they've developed. We're doing that with the city of St. Paul at Snelling University and on other areas of the city. I'd like to know more about the vision and plans that Easttown has, this year and for the coming years, and think about how can we work together? How can Greater MSP bring the power of the region as a whole to make that vision real and to accelerate its execution? And so this is the last thing I guess I'll leave you with today. I think this is a real leadership moment for the Easttown Business Partnership. I'm just constantly talking to leaders, corporate, public sector, philanthropy, and they're asking questions like, where's the workforce that we can hire? And, we want to invest in BIPOC-owned small business, and we want to create innovative housing strategies. Well, those things have to happen somewhere, and they have to be done, in partnership with some place-based entity. And so there's a lot of energy to do work somewhere, and it could go anywhere in the region. And I think there's a big opportunity for it to happen in Easttown. Reimagining the future of downtown Minneapolis is like top 3 on everybody's list. You don't have to live in downtown, work in downtown, be in the West Metro to care about downtown Minneapolis. People talk to me about it all the time. And so you are downtown Minneapolis, a big part of it. And it's like, we need your voice and your vision and your leadership to say, so here's how we see the future. We're here. We don't want other people talking on behalf of downtown Minneapolis. And there's a lot of kind of not super helpful, inaccurate chatter out there about what's going on and what can we do to amplify the stories that you have to tell, and your vision, communicating your vision for what Easttown is, how you've already transformed it, and where you want to take it. And then I want to push you to think in the kind of next 90 days about what's a tangible set of projects, housing projects, green infrastructure, workforce training, small business, a actual list, a bulleted list of things that could be funded with either public funds or with private sector funding. And if there's an interest in putting together like a program of projects, I would like to work with you to make sure that gets seen by the right people and elevated in the right spaces. Because the problem, we'll have a good problem in just a few months when counties and cities and the state and private sector saying, we've made all these big goals, all these big commitments, and now we need to figure out a way to deploy that capital. And you want to be standing there with a list of, we have 20 ideas, right? Like, let's talk about how we could start funding some of this work right now. That's what I have. I guess 60 seconds over. We probably don't have any time to talk, but that's what I got
Peter,
for today.
Amazing. In fact, the fact that you actually hit the top of the hour is amazing. We would have given you a little more if you had it, but that was really tight. And thank you for our conversation a week or two ago when we prepped for the meeting. And I am committed to following up with you, connecting you with the board, some of our initiatives and ideas. And I think this side of downtown, as it has proven over the last 6 to 7 years, is incredibly malleable and willing to both scale up, but do it in a really meaningful way that all constituents are included. So we don't have time for Q&A, but by all means, reach out if you have any questions or information. I am going to follow up with Peter, and I stay connected with Greater MSP and the remarkable team that he leads as well. So Karina, I'm just going to pass it to you to wrap
Perfect.
things up, and anything else that we need.
Great. Peter, thank you so much for your presentation. I think what I heard in there was this invitation to dream. And I think that that's a really lovely bookend to Melvin's challenge to all of us at the beginning of our time together, which was to do better. And you are telling us there are resources. One thing that I heard a lot in 2008 was that a crisis is a terrible thing to waste. And I think while the last year has been a really different type of experience than the recession, this unique moment would be a terrible thing to just let go past us when there are these resources, when there are these spotlights on things in our community that are broken and need to be fixed. And so my last charge to all of you as the outgoing president is to find ways to dream about doing better and to make sure that many, many of those resources are coming to Minneapolis and to East Downtown, specifically to Elliott Park, to the Downtown East neighborhood. And I hope that when I continue to be in this space as Catholic Charities is moving our headquarters into Elliott Park neighborhood in the next 18 months or so, that I'll get to start to see all the ways that your dreams are becoming reality. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for sticking in here with us just a few extra moments, and hope to see you at an upcoming business forum. Take care.
Take care, everyone.